up and sit down.
Howdy guys, Andy here from Bigmeks Workshop Painting Studio, and it's White Dwarf time. This is the first White Dwarf of the new year, and we've got Mega Gargants. So I've had a quick glance for it, but nothing spectacular, and it's a bit of a mixed bag, as they always seem to be at the minute. And diving straight on in, we're going to have a quick look at what's coming up. So obviously, as GW released a preview of the other day, you're fully aware that the Emperor Spears have their own article in here. We've also got the Sons of Baphomet, or the Gargants or Giants army for Age of Sigmar, and they look pretty interesting. Getting past the contents, and we're going straight into the readers' models, and as always, they've got a nice variation of what's being done. Someone's done a thank you NHS little display, which is really cool, and he's done a really nice job on it. They're from the 1980s Rogue Trader Rainbow Warriors Legion, or at least based upon, including the NHS rainbow motif for their Legion shoulder pad. Nicely weathered Redempted Dreadnought here, and this Death Watch Tech Marine Sergeant dude is particularly impressive and has a surprising amount of DACA. Got some really nice Raven Guard incursors. At first glance I thought they were scouts. It's a lighter armour, I suppose, what made me think that. And the model of the month is a stunning Mind Stealer Spheranx, or however you say it, I'm probably butchering it, and that is by Francois Ballon Perrin, and the paint quality on that is absolutely superb. So yeah, it's just beautiful. So good effort on that one. So looks like somebody's been playing some serious 40k. This is on a 52 by 16 gaming mat, using a whole lot of Titans. Got a nice big battle there. So and that is 61 40k scale Titans, and it was organised by David Halfpenny from the Titan Owners Club, which is pretty cool. We've got a whole lot of Titans there smashing away at each other, so that is awesome. So as always, we've got the World of Warhammer. This time is delving into the background of Age of Sigmar, and how and we're talking about how the stories are made. So the Emperor Spears Index of Astartes, and got a nice big double spread photo there. It looks like the Emperor Spears anyway. I could be mistaken. And obviously the frequent regular feature of the Caravan's Warzone. The Caravan Sector has been in White Dwarf for the last couple of months now, and we've been adding a lot of interesting mechanics to your Crusade or your regular gaming formats, specialist missions, new stratagems and things. It's definitely something I want to look into when I get a chance to start playing some games again. Well, it's just like everybody else, I ain't getting a chance to play 40k simply because we can't go anywhere. And obviously, as always, we've got the a little bit of backstory about it. And this is this particular battle is on what planet? This is on the Cromid front from the Caravan Sector, and got a little bit of a backstory. This is the battle for Ferrimore Prefabricum 19, and obviously there's a little bit of a story as well, as they always do with the flashpoints. I think it's a really nice feature, the flashpoint thing. really allows us to expand our narrative games. And as always, we've got the extra special rules, along with any specific terrain and such, plus your Crusade artifacts for running the Crusade games. So this is an army gallery of a Deathwatch army, and this is painted by Damien Pedley, who's apparently been featured in White Dwarf a hell of a lot of times, and you can only understand why, because the painting quality of this army is just outrageous. So really nice nicely painted army. And in traditional Deathwatch fashion, you've got a smattering of people from all different places. And myself, I'm a bit of a fan of the Black Templars. I love their attitude, and you can't do a Deathwatch army without having an odd Black Templar knocking about. You need someone to turn up the badass level of the Deathwatch. So he's got a fairly large army by the looks of things, plus a few custom builds as well, or conversions. It looks like he's got one of his skulls from some of his skulls from the skull set added to the aggressor, really making things look a bit more interesting. So now on to Index of Starters. This is for the Emperor Spears, which was obviously featured in the Emperor Spears novel by Aaron Dembski-Bowden, and he's gone into the history of them to help to assist with writing this set of rules. So all that is backstory, and now obviously they've got their own unique traits, as has been seen on the preview. +1 advance and charge rolls, and they also get 6s roll an additional hit in the first round of any combat. Whole bunch of relics, as always, warlord traits and stratagems. I'll just go through one of the relics. The sword will make your warlord pretty killy. So it's power sword or mastercrafted power sword, anything along them lines. It's a strength +2, AP 4, damage 2, and if the makes a heroic intervention or charge, it's damage 3 and AP 5. So you're not getting any armor saves against him, and he's probably going to cut you in half as well. So these are a very fighty faction. The fighty warlord trait, bloody but unbroken, +1 attack to the warlord, and when he's taking damage, he gets an additional attack as well. So whilst he's lower than his starting wounds, he gets an extra 2 attacks instead of just +1. They also have something akin to Veterans of a Long War. Can be used on core or characters. In the effectively first round of any fight, until the end of that phase, each model in a unit that makes a melee attack add 1 to attack's wound roll. So a bit like Veterans of a Long War. If a unit contains 5 or fewer models, it's only 1 CP, otherwise it's 2. So yeah, very close combat orientated faction. Definitely looks like a bit of a blast to play. As always, in the Index of Starters section, they always give you a paint splatter on how to get the look of their armour. I do like the colour scheme. If I was to make my own loyalist army, that would be something that would tempt me. Their colour scheme is really nice, but I've got a bit of a thing for blue, so that'll probably come as no surprise. So once we've dealt with the that was the basic paint style, I believe, and this is the contrast style. But we've also gone into adding some battle damage and such. And I'm not sure if they've touched on how to do it, but it is there to give you an idea on how it can look. So obviously the more stuff about them. And on to Tale of Four Warlords. So we've got Space Marines, Necrons, Sisters of Battle and Orcs. So Dodge will be happy to have a read about that, I dare say. So we've got the Sons of Medusa as the Space Marines. This is by Joel Martin. Jonathan Stapleton is painting up Necrons of his own dynasty, I believe. And it's a really nice colour scheme. Order of the Argent Shroud is by Drew Palais. Apologies if you were if I butchered your name. And I'm as you know, I'm a bit of a Sister of Battle fan, and really nice colour scheme. A nice sort of dirty metal colour. And War Dagoffs is by Lydia Grant, and obviously you've got orcs, and no doubt lots of them. So on to the Age of Sigmar, and as you know, the Gargants are quite a big deal in multiple senses, and this is all about the rules of engagement and making the most out of your giants. So obviously going into various different methods on how to put them together as a unit or individually. And obviously you can't be talking about the Gargants without the Mega Gargant, which is a particularly big model. And just look at this dude, he's absolutely enormous. And what is nice, what I did like is they've got a nice scale at the bottom of here, starting from the smallest models to the largest models, give you a rough idea of how big they actually are. Now these models aren't quite to scale. I think they're about 75%. So this guy probably going to be about there, something like that. So it gives you an idea of how much bigger he is compared to everything else. And also you've got some various weird different types of Gargants. The Kraken Eater Mega Gargant has been converted to give him some kind of weird boat helmet and the carapace from one of the weird floaty turtle things. Got some kind of war spawn Gargant Zinchi thing, which let's be fair, would be pretty terrifying to come up against. And as always, got a nice paint splatter there, getting the best out of some of the details, which I dare say there's quite a lot of. So I've got some nice different paint schemes, going into the flesh tones, and working on the wooden clubs, getting some really nice effects on the clubs and the wood and the ropes. So as always, we've got a battle report in, and this is the Mega Gargants by Ben Johnson, and Ogre Kingdoms, which is the Ogre Moor tribes these days, by Jez Bickham. And yeah, as always, I'm going to skip to the end because battle reports I don't want to spoil for anybody who's really interested in them. But it's a massive battle. It's a 3,000 point game. So as always, we've got a bit of fiction in here. This is a short story. Looks like it's going to be giant based, and some random war scrolls and battle mini game things for your AOS collection. Looks like it's to deal with big scraps between giants. On to Warhammer Underworlds now, and we're talking about the. I dare say we're talking about the new models, what they're releasing for Diachasm, as it's called this time. So, getting to the end of it, and we're talking about Blood Bowl. This is a review of the last decade because it's been about that long since they released the new version. And from what I've heard, the new version is more very similar to the old. We've changed a few of the way the stats look, but fundamentally it's the same. So all your Blood Bowl players will be able to play this without any real confusion. So it looks like it's more of a tuned version of the older game. And now, as always, a bit of Adeptus Titanicus right at the end. And we're just talking about their own battle strategies and their own versions of the of their Titan Legions, and the different traits what you can sometimes use with the different legions. So Black Library, and they're talking about more and more books that are getting released, and at the end, as always, it's a part of the they've started producing some of the books in the White Dwarf, and this is part 1 of 6 of Mother of Fire, which is a Fire Slayer novel. And right at the end, talking about the stuff what the staff have been getting up to outside the studio, and we've been getting some serious painting done. Obviously some Underworld, the particularly cool Black Coach. I do really like that model. And obviously talking about next month, it looks like there's going to be some Space Wolfy things in there, so that could be interesting for you, Athel. There you go, as always, a bit of a mixed bag. It's good to be back doing the White Dwarf stories. So thanks for watching this, and if you want to see any more White Dwarf previews, please hit like and subscribe. It's a massive help to us. It really does help us with the YouTube algorithm. So as always, I've got some thank yous to make. So huge thank yous to all you guys who watch this video. Massive thanks to that. It really does help us out. Also thank you to our Patreon. If you're interested in joining the Patreon, guys, check the link in the description. You get a whole bunch of little benefits. It really does help assist us, helps us keep the lights on and keeps the videos coming out. So massive thanks to Oak Boys, Matt, Ludwig Hofbauer, D Wack, Mark, Dave, Tom, Spikey Ben, Why Metal Games. You're our top paying patrons, and without you guys we could not do this at all. Also massive thanks to Element Games. They're our affiliate link. Also the Outpost as well. They're also an affiliate link. If you want to use any of our affiliates, we get a little bit of a bonus as a kickback from you guys at no cost to you, so it's just a straight up benefit to us. So that also helps us get extra toy soldiers in for you guys to sometimes win and for us to paint. So thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Ta-ta.